everyone. It's me, TriflingLeopard, and I'm here with Philippic Panther, my patriarchal boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm just downright awful.
Just downright oppressive.
Yep.
Anyway, we're here to talk to you guys about the Chicago kidnapping. And not just about that, just kind of like the stuff surrounding it and kind of like what a lot of us have noticed because of this, like what's happened with the mainstream media and all that fun stuff. Neither of us are ready to make a professional video, and we figured we would just talk stuff out with each other and,
Just gotta get it out there.
Yeah, get our anger out. So, yeah. You got any words to say?
Well, I really should have some, but the video to me, I was speechless when I watched it. I didn't even get to watch the whole thing either. But my frig,
Yeah.
I was just staring at it like in anger. Like, how can somebody treat someone like that?
We're both the types of people that get like really angry about that stuff too. So like, like if I see like a video about like an abused dog or an abused like kid or something, or anyone being abused, it just makes me so angry. And like I got the same feeling from this video, just anger, like in the pit of my stomach.
Yeah. I don't know. They must have been on drugs or something. What was she smoking?
I don't know. It looked like just like an e-cigarette, but it could have been like one of those marijuana ones. Like there's ones where you can put weed in the e-cigarette kind of thing.
I thought it was a filter with some kind of a thing on it, like
I don't know.
The old style fancy filters. Anyway, she looked high anyway.
I don't know. She did. She was acting high. I don't know if it's been released, like what their mental state was, but I have heard that they are being charged with
hate crime.
Hate crime, especially, and obviously like aggressive kidnapping and all that type of stuff. But a lot of people are questioning if the hate speech is gonna be if it's gonna be charged as hate speech against his mental disability, or if it's going to be against his race. And I've heard different things from different news sites. Some people are saying that it's a hate crime against like his mental disability, and some other sites are saying that it's also against his race. So I guess that's not really 100% proven yet. Either way.
After watching what I've seen, I would judge it as hate crime against his race, because I don't remember really them making fun of his mental state or anything like that.
Yeah, they definitely were talking about his race more than anything else. But apparently one of the guys in the group was actually like his acquaintance, and apparently his parents dropped him off at a McDonald's to meet up with this guy, and he was gonna spend the night at this guy's house. And they ended up spending like the next 2 days just like driving around, meeting up with people, like hanging out with people and whatever. And then they went over to the girl's house. Apparently the girls are sisters. And they went over to their house. And he was there for like a couple hours before all this stuff happened. So apparently they were like kind of friends and stuff too. So that's a little scary.
Yeah, well, the way it sounds to me, I didn't know all that. But it sounds like, maybe they were all kind of friends or just acquaintances, and then maybe they got a little high and started doing some stuff that they actually thought about, like against the white and Donald Trump and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like to me then.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't see why you would want to do that.
Me neither.
What gives you the gall or even think about scalping him? Like that's the one that really bothered me the most.
Yeah.
And tell him to get in the corner and making fun of that he was scared. Like, obviously he's scared. You get 4 people against 1.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good odds.
And then they made him crawl on all fours and drink out of the toilet and stuff.
I didn't get to see that part, but I seen them making him kiss the floor. And,
It's awful. Yeah. So there's not really much more to talk about that, because we haven't gotten all the facts out there yet, and like all of the stuff that is already out there, everyone's already heard a million times.
Yeah.
Like everyone already knows it, so we can't really talk about that a whole lot. But
we could talk about our own feelings.
yeah, well, if you want to talk about your rage,
well, I feel more enraged because there was one time where supposedly a friend of mine and an actual friend of mine decided to try and tie me up. I don't think I ever told you about this.
I don't think you did, no.
And obviously, you know how I feel with claustrophobia and being restricted. So that was bothering me, obviously.
Yeah.
And anyway, they tried to put the rope around me and tie me up, but I flipped out. And I don't really remember what happened, but I remember beating up one of them, crushing his ribs. I got him between my... like in between the back of my legs, and I was sitting on him, and I just kept squeezing him. Like I just was in a fit of rage. Like, so when I see stuff like that, like obviously I'm not gonna like it, and it makes me feel so. You can't even describe the feeling you have inside.
Yeah.
The pit of your stomach, anger, and feel sick. And you don't get like shaking. I get shaking sometimes. How mad I get. Yeah. I keep thinking about that stuff whenever I see those kind of videos.
Yeah, I just like, I don't know. I just feel like an overwhelming amount of like, pity, and I don't know. I just feel really awful in a lot of different ways.
That's really unfair.
Yeah, I don't know why people have to be like that, like, so cruel.
And it really doesn't matter what color you are, because what I meant by that was my so-called friends, when they tied me up, they were white, tying up another white person.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of humans. I think we have some cruelty in us, but we have to fight against that. Like, move on, like, move above animalistic things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I just, like, it really doesn't matter the color or anything. Like, I have just as much empathy for this person as I would if the roles were reversed and it was 4 white guys, torturing a black guy. It would be the same thing. It's still a person, because honestly, obviously I see color, but I don't really care a whole lot about color. Like, I'm not really biased in any way toward, like, my race. I don't really care. Like, a person is a person, and if a person is being tortured or in trouble, then it makes me, angry and upset.
We're all human.
Yes.
Regardless of color.
So another thing was that a lot of people were jumping to conclusions about this and saying that it was Black Lives Matter that was doing it. But Black Lives Matter Chicago has come out and said that this has nothing to do with them, and they've condemned this and all that. So, props to them for, coming out and saying that they condemn this.
Well, that's good, but who says that they were involved with Black Lives Matter? They might be saying it in there.
They didn't say anything about it. But the thing is, like, that Black Lives Matter and BuzzFeed and all those types of, websites and stuff have been kind of perpetuating this, like, making it kind of cool to make fun of white people. Like, they've kind of just made it, like, really mainstream to just kind of poke at white people. Like, you see all, like, the memes and stuff, like, white people can't dance and all that stuff, and that stuff is harmless, but at the same time, like, I feel like they take it too far sometimes and say that, like, you can only be racist against white people and stuff, and we're kind of just, like, the scapegoats for a lot of things now, and, I don't know, I just think that, it may not have been directly Black Lives Matter, like, those people may not have been directly associated with Black Lives Matter, but I don't think anyone can deny that Black Lives Matter is kind of perpetuating a fuck white people culture.
Yeah.
So whether or not they directly were associated with this, and I don't think they were really. I do think that they are like partially kind of have to blame because this thing they're pushing is really racist.
I don't think they see how racist it is. They're trying to abolish racism, but when you put a label of one race on it, I feel that's being racist towards all the others.
Yeah. I don't know. It's for me. It's more stuff they're doing too. Like chanting down like New York City or whatever, saying like kill all cops, and like.
What if they were black cops?
Doesn't matter. They're cops.
Well, yeah, but they're black.
So.
Black lives matter. Well, see, that's
blue lives matter.
Everything matters. Every life matters.
Yeah. That's why I know all lives matter gets kind of a bad rap because a lot of like really kind of white supremacist alt-right people use that label a lot to kind of dismiss black people. But I kind of prefer all lives matter. Like I don't use any of those labels. But no. If I were to, I would probably use all lives matter because it's more kind of it includes everyone, because then like Asian lives matter and Latino lives matter and white lives matter and all, like it kind of encompasses everything, whereas Black Lives Matter, like, yes, we get it, Black Lives Matter, no one is denying no one's saying they don't matter.
The odd extremists obviously would.
Yeah, and there's extremists against every race, so
yeah,
I don't know. So that kind of brings us into the racism and bias in mainstream media, because that's the thing that made me the most mad about this story, is the fact that no one is really talking about it. Like, no one was talking about it when I made the first video, and I find there's still not really a lot of people talking about it. Like, more
it's
people.
It's kind of hard to find.
Yeah, more people are talking about it now, but they're mostly just talking about, like, they're not directly talking about the story. They're more like talking about like how using the hashtag BLM kidnapping is racist, and like talking about like the effects that this had on things, as opposed to actually talking about the thing that happened.
What actually happened.
Yeah, which bothers me a lot, because like the mainstream media is so quick to talk about like black people getting shot by cops or all this stuff, but they can't talk about this one story. Like, they have to talk about...
Yeah, and that's kind of, what's the right word? Not biased, but not really racist, but they're picking and choosing what they want to put on the mainstream media.
Yeah.
And if it's news like that, one person against 4 getting abused, that should be a story. I don't care what race it is, who's doing what. If it was 2 Asians and a black person and an Egyptian, I don't care. If they're all 4 doing that against 1 white, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Or 3 whites and a black against 1 Asian. To me, that's still ridiculous.
Yep.
I don't care what race it is. It's still something that shouldn't happen. It's still a crime. No matter what race you are, because what's this whole deal about human rights, right? That includes every race. Human rights.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. It's just like it just seems like the mainstream media is so quick to talk about those fake Trump supporter stories, like the so-called Trump supporter who he ripped off a woman's burqa, and that turned out to be fake, and like all these stories that turn out to be fake. They're perfectly fine talking about those and saying, oh, well, even though it's fake, it's still like bringing to light that this stuff happens, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
but when something actually happens, they just are completely silent. And how do you trust a news site that withholds information like that?
You can't. That's what bothers me too. Is I could be wrong, but 30 years ago, if I remember correctly, they wanted to get the real truth. They actually did the research, found out what was happening, and then put the story up. Not just automatically put the story up and then find out what the real details are later. Like, that's backwards.
Well, I think the big problem now with a lot of the news sites is that they're competing with Twitter. Twitter's so quick at getting stories out because it's got millions of people on the platform. So as soon as something comes out, pretty much it's automatically like on Twitter, like instantly. So these sites are trying to compete with Twitter to get it out first because that's the whole point of a news site. Like, you know, back before there was the internet, there were news channels, and news channels always tried to get it out before each other. They were always in competition. So now the news sites are all kind of in competition with Twitter now because it's so good at getting stories out quickly. So I think they're just kind of getting stories out that they think people will, that they'll get the most clicks. That's all websites want anymore. It's just people clicking in. They don't give a crap about the ratings or anything.
It's all about money.
Yeah, it's all about just how many people are looking at the ads on their site. So they don't really care like about real news. They don't care about like all this stuff. All they care about is getting it out quickly and making sure it's gonna get them a lot of clicks. And you know, maybe they all think that this isn't gonna get a lot of clicks. I don't know. I was watching a live stream of Sargon of Akkad and a few other YouTubers the day this was kind of all going down. And they were talking about how a lot of news sites have kind of picked a side that they're on because they found that they make more money that way because more people are going to go to them.
Oh, pick a side.
Yeah, because more people go to them, like more people will share their stuff because more people who agree with them will be following them, so they'll get more shares on their stuff. It kind of makes sense in the business.
I get it in a business point of view. But as humans, seeing something like that, there's only one side.
Yeah, and like when you're a news site, you should be completely or mostly unbiased. I know it's hard for humans to be completely unbiased,
There's
but
a natural
you should try
there,
to be as neutral as possible and have like, you know, have as diverse stories as possible and try to like just get the news out. Like they're trying too hard to make money.
That, and I think they're being too careful too, because if you say one wrong thing, you're going to be ridiculed and eventually be shut down because of a bad name because you covered the wrong story. You know, it's sad that everybody's so scared to say one thing against the other when I know this is a bad term, black and white, but you know what I mean. And it's just everybody's got to stop worrying about that and actually put out what's right and what's wrong.
The other thing is too that Hollywood is completely controlled by like the left, like the regressive left. So a lot of stars don't even have a choice. Like they have to be Hillary supporters. They have to be like full-fledged liberals, because if they aren't, they get absolutely shit on. Like Kaylee Cuoco, or however you friggin' pronounce it, from the Big Bang Theory. She came out as anti-feminist. She was just like shit on majorly. I didn't even know that. And then like, you know, a few weeks later or whatever, she came out, of course I'm a feminist, like all this stuff. And you have to wonder like how many of these stars are being kind of forced to say these things because they're scared they'll lose their job, their livelihood.
It's ridiculous.
It really is. Like that's why you see no stars, and the stars that do come out like against the liberals are like completely shit on, like Kanye West. He's basically been Uncle Tom'd now because he talked to Donald Trump, and I think that he said he would vote for Donald Trump like before the election or something, and everyone just like had a meltdown because he said that. And it's like he's allowed to have his own opinion. Like that's what he wants to vote for. You don't have to vote the same as Kanye West.
No, and that's what this whole system was all about, having your own say of who you want in office and all that stuff. If we didn't have that, we would have an empire.
Yeah.
And what do you call those? Mussolini and all them. What the frig?
Like a dictator?
Dictator. That's the word I'm looking for. We'd have a dictatorship.
A penis potato?
Yeah. But like that seems to be what everybody seems to want now.
Well, yeah, like the liberals freaking out because they're saying that Donald Trump winning was undemocratic. I'm pretty sure it was pretty fucking democratic because you guys voted him in.
Well, how else will you get there?
America voted, and that's, like, he's the guy. And people are talking about the Electoral College and all this stuff, and I don't think people understand what the Electoral College is. Apparently, originally, it was designed because a lot of people in America couldn't, like, read or write, and they weren't really educated. Mm. So they had this, like, person who was going to represent everyone in, like, a certain state. So it was kind of useful then, and people argue that it isn't useful now because, like, everyone's educated. Not really, but
that's debatable.
Yeah, that's debatable. But it's kind of like, and one of the YouTubers that I watched explained this really well, but the United States is really just like a bunch of tiny countries all like in kind of a union. So each state votes, and then the Electoral College is basically who won the votes in that state, and then they cast their vote as like, so like say the state of California, if they're like 61% Donald Trump and like
so in that state they win.
Donald so Trump the Electoral College would cast a Donald Trump vote.
That'd be 1 point, right?
Yeah, that'd be one Donald Trump
seat,
vote.
Whatever they use.
So it's a little bit different than here in Canada because we're one country. So we vote for who we want as the premier, and then that goes toward who we want as the prime minister. So it's a little bit different. They do their politics really differently than we do ours here. Like they only have 2 parties and then the third party, but whereas we have a lot of different parties.
Yeah, actually, I find the Canadian one very confusing, and I've lived here my entire life.
Well, the American one is a little bit like a Survivor or something. Like they have like 2 parties. You're either Democrat or Republican, and then you have like, you know, like 6 or something candidates for each party, and then you kind of just get like voted off. And then like eventually 2 people are up against each other, and then you have the third party who's kind of just like everyone disregards the third party because like it's kind of like the Green Party here, like they're never gonna win. No offense if anyone votes Green Party in Canada, but like they're kind of
not popular enough. Yeah, really. You know, they want some things. And never mind, let's not get into that.
Yeah, liberal and conservative are kind of the most popular here too.
We're getting so far off topic.
Yeah. Anyway,
just thought of that now.
This is kind of just like a rambly, talky video. We kind of just wanted to do a video where we talk some things out. So, sorry if we get off topic. You definitely don't need to watch this video. I'll have another.
But it's nice if you do.
Yeah.
Ratings
if you
are
do
good
want
too.
a video. If you want to watch it as background noise while you play Skyrim, that's completely fine.
Just remember to watch the full video.
Yeah.
You don't actually get counts for half videos or anything like that. Anyway.
Freaking trying to whore yourself out there.
I've only got 2 videos. This is my 3rd.
Anyway.
But back to Donald Trump, because for some reason those. Oh yeah, that's right. The white kid voted Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's like a sure thing. I don't know if they were just saying. Well, I don't know if they were just saying fuck Donald Trump in general. Like it hasn't come out if he actually supported Donald Trump or not. So we have no idea if he really did or not.
And honestly, it doesn't matter.
No.
Like we said, this is a democracy, not a dictatorship.
Like. In 4 years, you can try again to get your person in. That's what a democracy is.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the best way to do politics because dictatorships don't work. And like kingdoms don't really work either.
Some seem to be alright.
Well,
but they run it differently.
It works
They
really
run it more
well
like a democracy.
in England because like they have a prime minister, and then like all of the Commonwealth have prime ministers too, and the prime ministers kind of just like answer to the Queen, and like when we want laws passed, she's got to like kind of sign it, so she's just kind of like the head honcho.
Not to compare it to Star Wars, but she's like the emperor, and all the premiers are the Moth, and they look after the little things.
The Moth.
Moth, yeah, like that's what they were calling him in episode 4. Like Tarkin, he's a Moth. He governs certain systems, and then answers to the emperor.
I see.
There's a lot of politics in Star Wars.
Thanks for that tidbit.
Just so you want. This is so you know.
Anyway. Geek.
Yeah.
Nerd. Yeah. So, anything else you want to add?
No, I can't really think of anything now. I'll probably think of something when this is over.
This is super unprofessional, but it's just a little discussion. We wanted to do a little collab video. We might do more of these in the future. We might start kind of like a side series where we just kind of do a glasses off type talking video where we just kind of, not really a lot of humor, just kind of talking about current events and stuff we want to...
Kind of like the talk of the town.
Yeah. Like, we do this all the time, like, just... Like, we just talk things out. Like, that's kind of what we do.
In the car a lot when we're driving. We talk about this, and I get all ragey.
Yeah.
And yelling and freaking out about it.
And I'm just, like, ignoring him, like, yeah, so anyways.
I can't help it. I get so mad at some stupid things. Especially stupid drivers, but that's another video. So
I figured it would be a good idea to kind of do our talkie thing on, like, video. And then you guys can kind of listen to it and throw your 2 cents in. And we can all just kind of have a fun little discussion. So we'll be putting this up on both of our channels and just kind of doing it like that. So we might do a little like serious thing, and we might start doing it like alternating channels, or
eventually we might just have a third channel of our
if we get like popular enough, like if enough and if enough people want it.
Like for me, 5 subscribers and you 25.
20.
You're at 20 now, right?
I think I'm at 25. Yeah. I didn't know what you meant.
It's alright.
Anyway, so we might. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we'll probably do another one of these in the future.
If you guys have any ideas, let us know too.
Yeah, if you want to throw something in, if like I'm perfectly happy to do videos that you guys want, because like, you know, I don't have many subscribers yet, but I care about all of you, and I care about, you know, what you guys think of my videos and
what we could improve on. Well, you, I guess this is mostly yours.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So
help is always appreciated.
Yes, and I definitely want to do what you guys want to be watching, because I'm doing it for me, but I'm also doing it for you, because, you know, you guys are my viewers. I want to do what you like viewing.
You'd be nothing without them.
Yeah, I really would. Anyway, go over to Philippic Panther's channel and check him out. Give him a little subscribe if you want. If you like his stuff. Yeah. Do you want to horror yourself? Tell them what to expect?
Well, you can expect some humorous things, some ragey things. Right now, it's a couple of humorous. The videos I got right now is really kind of dumb the way they go on.
Yeah. If you liked my videos, you'll probably like his, because we're basically the same person. You're just more oppressive.
More oppressive, yeah.
Yeah.
Get in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Make that sandwich you promised me.
You didn't get the ingredients.
I forgot, alright? Like a man.
Anyway, so yeah. TriflingLeopard and Philippic Panther out. Bye, guys.